I came to Reiki about almost 20 years ago, and it came to me at a time in my life when the way my normal strategies for working out life weren't working anymore. When I was a child, we didn't grow up in a typical Christian family environment. We didn't talk about Christianity or any other organized religion. What we talked about was metaphysics. Metaphysics in the 70s was very different than it is today. It was very focused on the paranormal, on ESP, on different phenomena. Today, it's a more spiritual-based philosophy. As I grew up and learned about these other realms and other dimensions of reality, when I began to study Reiki, once I took the classes and went through the process, I came to discover that the offering of Reiki itself was instrumental to key changes and would give me a whole new strategy, a whole new coping mechanism that empowered me and enabled me to deal with just about anything that came up in my life. When I first began Reiki, I had many friends and associates that were involved in Reiki. I had teachers that were extremely devoted to the teaching and the practices of Reiki. So I was able to get involved in a community of Reiki practitioners that was a very beneficial experience for me. In our Western world, we haven't been taught the value of having a spiritual teacher. It's belonged to the Eastern world for centuries of time. And it is only recently, in the last few decades in our Western world, that we've slowly begun to embrace the possibility of having a spiritual mentor and a spiritual teacher that is beyond our normal Christian belief systems of having a father or a priest or a minister whom we can confide in and build a spiritual relationship with. But in other parts of the world, it has been a long accepted tradition. Children are raised already knowing that they have a spiritual guru or a spiritual teacher to work with. And so the Reiki process of working with a master teacher is very, very valuable to your own personal development and growth as a Reiki practitioner and or becoming a spiritual teacher master yourself. For myself, it is an essential piece of Reiki to be in a one-on-one, face-to-face, hand-to-hand relationship with your teacher. It is an old school way. It's an ancient, mystical way. And it's a component of Reiki that I feel in my heart should not be disregarded. Part of the master teacher's job is to expand the consciousness of the student, to bring the student into a different awareness that he didn't previously have. But what I have found is when students learn this stuff on their own, without a mentor, without a guide, they don't know how to embrace and how to embody these principles, these new teachings that they're learning. It becomes the difference between doing and being. You can do anything out of a book. You can read about it, learn about it, study it, bring it into your brain, and learn how to do it and repeat that information. But when it is taught to you with a teacher, it brings a depth to it that you simply cannot get on a computer screen or in a textbook and try to mimic that understanding within your own capacity. I work very intimately with my students in helping them discover their path of healing and learning on this spiritual journey that they embark on. There is a divine order to life. This is a metaphysical understanding. And it can be difficult for us in our Western world to trust that there is a divine order. So I teach my students, or try to help them understand, that sometimes it is vitally essential that they learn to let go of the wheel. The saying is, let go and let God, but it is that understanding that there is a divine principle, a perfect divine order to everything, and when we can let go enough, then we can allow that divine order to guide the way.